Mine's are hot. I'm gonna go do a test. Hear me, then we're good to go. Everybody.
Okay.
That's why I was talking my right side. And then yes, I was gonna talk to the two of you real quick. So Manley's got his. So when we break through photos, if you do today, do this, you look at the photo of you guys with Jason, then we're breaking for a family photo, and then an everybody photo. So it's gonna be a little bit of a longer gap there.
Perfect.
And then after you give him the certificate, you read your thing and shake his hand, give him a moment just to tell us about Iraq or whatever he did, because he did.
Testing, testing. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Mr. Clark.
Excellent.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm gonna let the council members know the sound's ready to go, the ones that are out in the hallway.
Perfect.
That's what I'm saying, you're saying, you don't want to. Part of my talking speed is usually now. Me and you talked on Tuesday. First of all, tomorrow. Not. Next Tuesday, we'll worry about something. Like fundraisers. It's like fundraisers.
But you're learning me something. I can't look.
I'll just say, Mr.
Yeah, Say, if I say donation, if I say donation, I gotta redo it.
It's, state your name.
Yeah, you just drop that.
Someone wants to address the council. Please say your name.
Well, that's straight up, that's your thing.
Yeah, no.
Raise money.
We're looking at it.
It's gonna donate in an hour or two. Read the basket to donate, and then an hour or two of this donation.
Now, my question to him is, what do I have to change? He's gonna say, if I have to change anything, I'll send it out to everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that we do all these things to raise money in the city. Planter boxes to beautify the downtown. This thing to raise money for the children. All we want to do is raise money for the cemetery and beautify the cemetery, and they
I
make us
would
jump
have
through all the
been
hoops.
fundraiser. I didn't have a surgery. I understand that.
I'm not asking you to tell me what I'm saying is,
No.
we had it up and running, and we printed out the advertisement, and then we had to put everything back, delete everything, and redo it.
I mean, I go for legal advice. That's what he told me. But you're saying live with it. Don't insist or don't do it.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
That's exactly, okay, I understand that. Oh, the family's here.
But it says, thank you. I got them putting signs up in the bathroom, like, do not throw anything in the toilets, you know. Diapers pop up.
Whatever they did inside, I know nothing.
Yeah, but I want them to put signs up in the garbage.
I meant to,
can- they
I
can
invited
throw
my.
Things, and all that, so we don't have a clog fight like this.
I think this, that's what John and I were just talking about. Taking this personal, it's a vote. We'll have our conversations in person or on Facebook, however we want to put out there our feelings. And it's a vote and we move on, nothing personal. Well, we're done tonight. I actually like you. And August 7th, when I opened up an envelope, I saw I just checked for $100, it's 50 donation, you gave 100. So I made a purpose point to sit there. That's why I'm confused over there sitting on that route. That route was sitting next to me. And I said, oh, Matt, hold on, I got a text Jenna. She donated $100 and that's a decent amount.
Do it, yes, they do it. But just to keep their.
It's actually.
Yeah, sorry, I was dealing with an issue.
We just wanted to let you know, we're very appreciative. They open up that envelope. And
All I got to do right now, that's the main.
I'll get on. I'm gonna have to reach out to somebody because that's the first I've heard of that in any form.
Look at all these people, holy schmoly.
All right, okay, that's everybody.
What did John say? Oh, that's John. Oh,
Mr. Clerk, are you ready?
I'm ready whenever you're ready, Council President.
All right, let's call the meeting of the City of Tonawanda Council to order at 7:11 PM. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Sheasley,
Here.
Fisher,
Here.
Rautenstrau,
Here.
Mylum,
Here.
Cook.
Here, please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America. To the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence. All right, thank you. You may be seated. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to the mayor for his Veteran of the Month. Mayor?
Thank you, Madam President. It's always my pleasure to do this each month. And this month, it's Jason Robert Malley. Jason Mallory honorably served the country with the U.S. Marine Corps from 2001 in January to November 2004. 2003, Jason was deployed in Kuwait as part of the invasion force for Operation Iraq Freedom. His unit was the tip of the spear for the 1st Marine Division, engaging directly with the enemy combatants on a nearly daily basis. Their heaviest fighting was in East Central Baghdad while fighting to capture a palace along the Tigris River. Jason was honorably discharged as a Lance Corporal in November of 2004. His numerous awards were the Combat Ribbon Award, Action Award, Global War on Terrorism, Expeditionary Award, Iraq Freedom Medal Campaign, Sea Service Deployment Ribbon with 1 star, National Defense Service Medal, the Navy Presidential Unit Citation, and the Expert Rifle Badge 2nd Award. Following his military service, Jason served as a paramedic supervisor with Twin City Ambulance. In February 2050, he joined the City of Tonawanda Fire Department and was promoted to captain in December in 2023. From first aid calls to firefighting, Jason handled, there was no possible way to determine how many lives he saved or assisted in a positive way or manner in the City of Tonawanda. Today, we want to thank Jason Mallory for his honorable service to our country and to the City of Tonawanda. So Jason, come on up. Jason, how are you? I want to say welcome home. Thank you for your service to our country and also to the City of Tonawanda. I'm going to give you this one here. There's 2 of them. The first one I'm going to give you is this here. Is that one? The second one, Jason, is going to be put up at the front of City Hall each month. It's going to sit there until next month. The second meeting next month, where we honor the next Veteran of the Month. So I'll take this one, same as that one. But thank you very much. Again, there's more.
On behalf of the Wolf 859, we present you with this commemorative shield.
Thank you. And some crayons.
Where's the color go?
Oh, yeah, yeah, color book and crayons.
Crayon is the best flavor. Right? No jar? No, you get a jar with the crayons. We have everybody from the family? Okay, and then we can ask everybody here, who's with Jason, please come on up, everybody. Oh yeah, bring your suits up here, come on.
Hi, Nick.
Yeah, it's the mayor of the party. Hang over the fire. Okay. All right, thank you, everybody. Yeah.
What's up there, guys? One memo. What's Jim Fantasy? Oh, that's, yeah.
I'd like to say one thing real quick.
It's the second time I tripped over it.
Right now?
Yeah. As they're exiting, I just want to thank a few people. Our Veteran of the Month wouldn't happen without my secretary, Judy Simon, and also my administrative assistant, Sharon Stewart, and the assistants of second ward council person. What's his name again? I want to thank Chris Fisher too. So this wouldn't happen without the help of everybody. It's a group effort, a team effort, and I love when we work across the board together to make things happen. So this is a very good thing. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor. All right, communications from the mayor have been ordered and filed. Communications from city officials and correspondents have also been ordered and filed. Right now, we'll take comments by the public on the resolutions. For those that are joining us virtually, there's a spot for you to raise your hand. Please do so and the clerk will call upon you. If you're joining us in person, please approach the microphone. Any comments on the resolutions? Mr. Clerk, any resident wishing to address us virtually on the resolutions?
Madam President, at this time, I do not have anybody signifying they'd like to speak on the resolutions.
Okay, let's proceed.
Resolution number 1. Resolved that the common council minutes from August 6th, 2024 be accepted as filed.
So before we do that, it's sponsored by Council President Cook.
Council President Cook.
Do we have a second? Second by Mr. Sheasley. Now you can proceed, Mr. Clerk.
Yes. Resolved that the common council minutes from August 6th, 2024 be accepted as filed.
Comments or questions? Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Sheasley.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Roudstrow.
Aye.
Mylum.
Aye.
Cook.
I declare the resolution adopted.
A resolution number 2, sponsored by Councilmember Roudstrow and seconded by Councilmember Fisher. Whereas resolution 162 was previously passed by the Common Council August 6, 2024, and vetoed by Mayor John White on August 19th, 2024. And whereas the previous city clerk salary was $70,389.56 per annum, and the 2024 salary was approved for $70,108 per annum, and the current city clerk was hired at a rate of $57,000 per annum. And whereas the current city clerk has performed the duties of city clerk in the same capacity as the previous city clerk has performed the duties as per the City of Tonawanda Charter, and the current city clerk has performed the additional duties of creating an additional service of the one-day marriage officiant license, made New York State LGS 1 available to assist with record retention and disposal, created a city clerk newsletter, and has attended training regarding local laws and county regulations. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Common Council desires to override the mayor's veto of Resolution 162 for the year 2024, and be it further resolved that the override of the veto is effective immediately, and be it further resolved that the city clerk's increase in salary passed by the Common Council on August 6, 2024 shall take effect September 1st, 2024.
Comments or questions? Mr. Fisher?
I appreciate everyone that added to the conversation. No one came in the room, but on social media and through different sources, emails, there was conversations. I appreciate every one of them. Myself and the mayor had a conversation last Tuesday at the library event, and mayor and I both basically look, this is not personal, and we'll move on from this. One of the things I did bring up in the informal and I wanted to put on the formal was in the mayor's veto, he did comparables with other areas. But there's 3 cities in Erie County, Tonawanda, Buffalo, and Lackawanna. And Lackawanna is our most comparable city. It's comparable in size. We have a population of approximately 15,000. They have a population of approximately 19,000. And they just appointed their city clerk with a starting salary in August of 23 at 65,000. Our city clerk, as it says in the resolution, started at 57 and was normally a $70,000 job, where I would not have supported the 70,000, and that's why it's bumping up to 65, is we're still saving the taxpayers approximately $5,100 a year. So going into 2025, if this line item is dropped from 70 to 65 as the clerk's new salary, we already have saved $5,100 going into the 2025 budget talks. I also like to make a point that there has been a published notice that next Tuesday, August 27th at 6 p.m., we are having a budget workshop. Please attend, anybody who can make it. That is all.
Thank you, Mr. Fisher. Any other comments?
Madam President.
Mr. Mylum?
I'll try to be brief. I just want to say that, first of all, there is precedent in this city, at least in my time on the board, to hiring incoming unproven individuals at the outgoing salary of the previous person. I don't believe it's a wise way to move forward. I think the way that we started this was probably one of the more thought out ways of starting somebody out. It's much more appreciated to have a base salary on fair market wages for the position, qualifications, acumen, and what somebody can bring to a position. Because I think these are all tangible, measurable things that can be brought to a position. I personally, this is just a personal thing. I don't appreciate or approve political appointments because I think a lot of times qualifications can be overlooking for relationships. So I'm not a big proponent of political appointments. I think we overlook candidates and evaluating a candidate if they are an appointment rather than, let's say, a hire. They have a process. Another aspect that I'd like to talk about is that I'm going to vote yes this evening, but it's a contingent vote. What I mean by that is, I believe that we should have job duties or job targets, job goals for this position that are actionable, measurable, and targeted. So that we can say, yes, no, maybe you have made this job target and base raises on performance rather than an around the table discussion. So my vote tonight is a contingent vote that I will revisit in 3 months. At budget time, I would like truthful, factual reports. If there are issues with this individual, we have not been made aware of anything in writing. It's all been hearsay, backdoor, this and that. Is it true? I don't know what's true and what's not true. So I will go ahead and give my vote tonight, but I'm going to say I'm going to revisit this vote in 3 months. I will bring it up again during budget time. And if job targets are not met, if the conversation continues the way it is, then I'm going to be leading the charge to go the other way with this. And I think that's fair. I think that's how we should kind of move on with this. I think rather than reading all of this that I had prepared, I'm just going to leave it at that. Thank you for your time. And I would also like to say, I'd like to thank the council, the mayor's office for their input in the last couple of weeks over this issue. My issue is everything that I've heard is hearsay, and I have not had anything put into writing to make it official. Had it been official, my vote would have been the other way. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mylum. Any other comments?
Yes.
Mr. Sheasley?
Yeah, I don't know. I read the charter and that it's not very clear what the duties of the clerk are. I don't know why over the course of time, the city government, and I'm not just saying here today, has not listed what they should have done in a certain time. We've got Jan Bodie, we got Kazel, and going back, that God bless her soul, she had passed. But to get that down and saying, look, this is what needs to be done, and piggyback what Mr. Mylum said is that, sometimes we put a stipend into the deputy clerk to help out. I don't know if she has the knowledge to do that. Does she know all that? Just to get a format there that we know what that person should do. And if they don't meet those needs, then it's the other way around,
I'm never going to begrudge anybody for making a buck, ever, especially in this economy. Looked it up today. A $57,000 salary today is equivalent to $75,000 10 years ago. In 10 years, we've lost $20,000 in our value of salary. However, when I coach soccer, not everybody gets the prize. Not everybody is entitled to a trophy. Not everybody's entitled to a raise. My vote yes is contingent on change.
Any other comments? Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Sheasley,
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Rautenstrau,
Aye.
Mylum.
Aye.
Cook.
Nay. Resolution is adopted.
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion.
Mr. Rounstrau,
I'd like to make a motion to waive the remaining, the reading of the remaining resolutions. At 3 through 8.
okay, I have a resolution on the floor to waive readings 3 through 8. Do we have a second?
Aye.
Second by Mr. Sheasley. Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Sheasley.
Aye.
Fisher. Rautenstrau.
Aye.
Mylum.
Aye.
Cook.
Aye. Declare the waiving of readings 3 through 8.
Resolution number 3. Sponsored by the council.
Seconded by the council. Comments or questions? Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Sheasley.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Rautenstrau.
Aye.
Mylum.
Aye.
Cook.
I declare the resolution adopted.
Resolution number 4, sponsored by the council.
Seconded by the council. Comments or questions? Comment. I'm glad to see this resolution come to fruition. It's been a long time coming. Just for historic knowledge, these windows have been in place since 1959. I'm sure our city historian would love that fun fact. So I'm glad to see this moving forward. Any other comments or questions? Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Sheasley.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Rautenstrau.
Aye.
Mylum.
Aye.
Cook.
I declare the resolution adopted.
Resolution number 5, sponsored by Councilmember Rautenstrau, seconded by Councilmember Sheasley.
Comments or questions?
Madam President,
Mr. Mylum?
I'll be brief with this as well. This is a major thoroughfare on our street, but I think that, or I'm sorry, in our city, it's a major thoroughfare, and it's quite a busy day, with the Porch Fest going on that day. But I think the benefit of this resolution coming out and everything that we've discussed with it shines a light on the fact that we need to better, have a better system in place for these types of events, so that we don't have to approve one day, question another, and then approve another. I'd like to look at ways to make this a more efficient process. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mylum. Any other comments or questions? Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Sheasley.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Rautenstrau.
Aye.
Mylum.
Aye.
Cook.
I declare the resolution adopted.
Resolution number 6, sponsored by Councilmember Cook.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that, President.
Second by Mr. Rounstrau. Comments or questions? Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Sheasley.
Aye.
Fisher.
Aye.
Rautenstrau.
Aye.
Mylum. Cook.
I declare the resolution adopted. Mr. Clerk, before you proceed, resolution number 7, just for full transparency, has been amended. Did you sponsor that? You sponsored the amendment, Mr. Rounstrau?
I did.
Yes, he did.
Okay. So just for everybody here, it will read the third whereas all details of the above named event must be coordinated with Recreation Director Amanda Loft and or David Nadell and the event chairperson, now therefore be it. And then the last be it further resolved, it will read the Common Council has already received the certificate of insurance from the event chairperson. I apologize, just want to get that on the record. Okay, you can proceed, Mr. Clerk.
Teasley,
Oh, wait, no, we don't have a second yet. I'll second. Comments or questions?
Madam President,
Mr. Rounstrau.
I would just like to comment that I wish I knew off the top of my head. I think this is 3 or 4 of these annual events for the COT Neighbors United. This is a great dream of the group of Lindsay Chelsea. She's done an amazing job. The group has done an amazing job with setting up these events for our kids, giving them really something awesome to go to. They've initiate some motivation or some imagination for the kids, gets them out of the house, away from computers, away from tablets, the opportunity to have some tactile things to play with. Really does a lot for growth, for their minds, for their imagination. So this is a great celebration at the end of the year for these constant events. It's great to see it well attended over the past few years. I hope to see it well attended this year. Like I say, if anybody has the opportunity to come out, if you have kids, even if you don't have kids, it's a fun time. It's fun to see what they've done and what they've built. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Rounstrau. Any other comments or questions? Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Teasley,
Aye.
Fisher,
Aye.
Rounstrau,
Aye.
Mylum,
Aye.
Cook,
I declare the resolution adopted.
resolution number 8, sponsored by Council Member Rounstrau.
I'll second. Comments or questions?
Madam President.
Mr. Rounstrau?
Just another grassroots event, started by somebody who's my neighbor. I'd be remiss if I didn't say thank you to Kelly Moline for her work on this, for bringing Torch Fest to the city of Tonawanda. It's been many years of a great event. I've been able to come to some and not others, but it's always been a great time wandering around our city, seeing these houses, just great music together. And just another opportunity for our residents to get out and about, interact with each other and meet with each other. And it's just a great thing to see in our city. So.
Thank you, Mr. Rounstrau. Any other comments or questions? Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Teasley,
Aye.
Fisher,
Aye.
Rounstrau,
Aye.
Mylum,
Aye.
Cook.
I declare the resolution adopted. At this time, we'll now take comments by the public following the resolutions. For those that are joining us in person, please approach the microphone. For those that are joining us virtually, please raise your hand and the clerk will call upon you. Mr. Clerk, we have a comment on the floor.
Hi, William Reese, 72 Wealth Revenue, City of Tonawanda. 3 years ago, I had the pleasure of serving as a charter review committee with quite a few people much more knowledgeable than I was. Former Mayor Pelosi, former Councilwoman Cypress, City Historian Skip Johnson. We had former Councilman Tom Smyers. We had a current City Clerk Jim Passau, and other people that were very knowledgeable in city politics. And we looked at every aspect of the charter back then. And we listened a lot to to former Mayor Pelosi and Gail, both when they knew why and remembered how the charter was formulated in '96. And we did, when we looked at everything, we did bring up the idea of hiring the city clerk. It was something I tried to make the city treasurer a hired job, and they shot that down. I'm more from the old school where you hire off a list, you hire for qualifications, you make sure that the person can do the job. The people that had that knowledge for years and had served on for years and helped formulate the charter, because we didn't change that provision in '96, made it clear, and one of the firmest people on that was former Mayor Pelosi, that the council needed to have one patronage spot that they could have, that was theirs in the city, that they could offer and use it to protect themselves. I'm aware that Mayor White has formed a new commission. I'm hoping that when they look at it, maybe some younger people like myself will say to hire again, but that'll be that commission, and they'll have to look at everything for the rules of how the commission must go. But at that time, we did put some serious talk. We probably spent a good couple hours just discussing whether we should look at putting qualifications and hiring the city clerk, or if they wanted to keep that as a patron's position. And it was very, really, it was pretty much 8-2 that it should stay a patronage spot. So that's the history there. I'm hoping that when the new charter revision commission gives it a look, they kind of have that feel. Knowing what we went through now, obviously in '96 it was done because they had that, the joys of '92 and '93, so that had that coloring over the '96 charter. We didn't see a reason to change it, they were adamant that it stays the same, but now, when you move forward with your commission, you have other things in play, and you can kind of decide if you want to add some of the stuff out of the passage. So, again, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Reese. Any other comments?
Yeah.
Mr. Clerk, we have a comment on the floor.
Simon, 6 Plymouth, I don't want to address this too. That same question and answer. I appreciate your input, chiefly about job qualification. Who's gonna write that? Who's gonna write the job qualification? We have someone capable in the city to write that, and should that be part of the charter? Absolutely. And should that also be put out to the public? Because maybe the public's perception of that should be granted. On the second half of that, Mr. Mylum, I appreciate very much your idea of revisiting this in 3 months. But in 3 months, if these said duties aren't followed, are we going to put our hand out and ask for it back? Probably not. Let's be realistic.
When I said 3 months, it's because that'll be our budget for next year.
I understand that, but at that point, if we haven't performed all these duties, and I'm not saying he will or he won't, but if we haven't performed all those duties, are we gonna get our money back?
Probably not get money back, but we get the position back.
Okay, so at that point, you'll be starting from.
Mr. Simon, I just want to remind you that questions are directed at the council president, and then I'll filter them out.
Your Honor. You understand my question?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. It just seems like we're talking a good talk. But how is it going to be accomplished? It's going to take at least 3 months just to get the job duties figured out. And who's going to do those? That's all I'm asking. I'm asking, for the taxpayer perspective.
So, Mr. Simon, I'll answer your first question. There already is a job specs for the city clerk. It's housed with civil service, so we will certainly take a look at that. Could be a potential that we have to amend some of those job duties, but there is a job specs that is in with civil service.
Well, you brought up some of those at the last meeting that weren't being followed. And surprisingly enough, we'll slide through with this now. So I just want to go on record as questioning, if we have that, does it need to be looked at again? I think it does. Should we be looking at it?
And the council would always revisit.
Last question, real simple, what time's the budget meeting next week?
It starts at 6 o'clock on August 27th. Thank you, Mr. Simon. Any other comments? Mr. Clerk, any resident addressing the council or wish to address the council virtually?
Not at this time, Council President.
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. All right, let's proceed. Mr. Fisher.
The Chris Fisher Gives Back this week, it was the Wyndham Fire Hall down in the South Towns. It's a volunteer fire company in town of Wyndham. Congratulations to Jason Malley. Glad to see the fire department nominate such a great person to be the Veteran of the Month. And then as far as Mr. Simon's comment about at the last meeting, there was a comment about things not being made. I'm going to piggyback on Mr. Mylum's comment of the hearsay. I had a resident reach out to me at one point, made an allegation that the city clerk was driving around in some substance, either the city clerk was driving around for 3 hours or cleaned his grill on duty for 3 hours or something to that effect. And my official statement to that person was, do you want me to help you file an official complaint with the city? Because if that's true, that's a serious allegation and you should probably file something. But again, it's hearsay and Facebook rhetoric. So if someone wants to come forward and put their name to it, that's great. But as of right now, I have not been notified anything informally as you haven't. I can tell you this, that when I reach out to the city clerk to post a notification for different signs that have to be moved or whatever the things we need, he's always completed the task as requested. So that's where I stand on that. So if you know something more, Mr. Simon, that the city clerk is done something or is not doing something, please put it in writing and send it to us. I would love to review it. That is all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Fisher. Mr. Sheasley.
I also like to commend Jason Malley for his service to the US, service to the city. Also, just a little update, regard to the Johns that the mayor had stated in the informal about possibly fixing up that blue building with the big hole in it. And whatever, they need more Johns done. I've never been down there on a Saturday. I mean, I've never seen a crowd like that. I could go down and cook for the Vietnam veterans, and there had to be, I'm telling you, 2,000 people around that thing. So I mean, that plus we've come to an agreement in regards to the football clinic, making sure those Johns down there are clean, because it can be a pigsty, but that's basically it.
Thank you, Mr. Sheasley. Mr. Rautenstrau.
Thank you, Madam President. Not to be repetitive, but and just to piggyback on everyone else. And thank you to Jason Malley for your service to our country, our service to our community. I've had the opportunity to meet you a few times through our fire department. As everybody else, we appreciate what you do. Thank you. Again, to piggyback also on the resolution, I know I presented the resolution, so I feel I should speak to it as well. I do agree 100% with Dave. I think that there needs to be a sit down and a discussion about, the job duties and what we are expecting of our city clerk. I think, just like Chris said, there's been a case where I reached out to him, asked for information, asked for tasks to be done, and he's been receptive and friendly. He does, as Mr. Reese said, he does work for the council. So it's also our responsibility to work with him, to let him know what our expectations are. I think that's a different conversation than we have talking about the salary. That's a conversation about making him whole and making a fair wage comparable to other municipalities and what that position actually deserves. But I think there is a different conversation that should be had. There should be a dialogue amongst all of us. There's 5 of us on the council, 5 of us that the city clerk answers to, and we should hold him accountable for his duties. And make sure he's meeting our expectations. That's all I have to say about that, other than thank you for the conversations that we've had and thank you for the support of the resolution. I think that's really all I have tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Rautenstrau. Mr. Mylum.
Thank you, Madam President. First, same as everybody else, thank Mr. Malley for his service. It was my pleasure to be a volunteer with him at Sweeney Hose in North Tonawanda for the time that I was active, and he was active as well. I would also like to thank Mr. Fisher for the event last week for the fundraiser for the cemetery. It was really well put together. I think it was very successful. It looked successful when I was there. There were a lot of people. I appreciate the Franco's versus Wheeler's pizza, splitting it up.
That was an inside thing.
That was really good. But it's always good to see the amount of people coming out for, and I don't mean this in any sort of way negatively, these niche organizations in our city that are here solely to improve the city. And it was really well put together. So thank you for that. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mylum. Mayor?
Thank you, Madam President. A couple of things I think I didn't want to address too much on it, but everybody seemed to touch base on it. But my responsibility running the day-to-day is I'm responsible for 160 employees. 160 employees and 4 bargaining units. That means I have to sit down with them. Do you know how hard it is to sit down with them when a 15% increase is given? It's very difficult. You're talking about increasing the payroll. You're talking to fellow employees who work maybe in a clerk's office. You're talking about department head status. You're talking about time off, vacation time, union negotiations. You're talking about department head negotiations. You're talking about department cuts. Maybe at the end of this year in 2024, we say, hey, and to go in 2025, we may have to say no raises to make $1 million cut over a 3-year period, do $1 million a year. What is that? Now what do you do? Say, oh my God, I give a 50. You see what I'm saying? There's so many repercussions to something this small. I love I get along with Mario. It's not against Mario. It's nothing personal. I told him that twice. And he shook my hand and agreed with it. And I shook a couple of council people. I said, look when this is done, we're gonna have something else to fight about next weekend. And I look forward to doing this with you. But that's part of this, is the way we do it. But I just didn't agree with it, because if we had a problem with it and you wanted to bring it from, let's say, 57, then why didn't you do it right away? See what I'm saying? That's all. I promise I wouldn't go any further. Everybody would have a little bit. I won't go any further on that. But I want to say congratulations to the John Graff for the summer picnic he had for the awards over at the library. Did a bang up job. Very nice. I was there with Mr. Fisher. It was a fun event. Our Vietnam Veteran of the Month, Jason Malley. Thank you. Appreciate that. Paint recycling. The paint recycling went really well. Our Kiwanis Club was the recipient. We did about $1,700. It was really nice. I try to get a different one involved every year. It's hard to find a non-for-profit that has enough manpower to work to do the event. And sometimes it's hard to do that, but we do find them, and they made about $1,700, which is great. We did 680 cars, numerical. That's great. That's 680 cars that signed up to do it. It was a really, really nice event. We got the back to school event coming out, August 24th. I beat you to it.
You did.
I knew that was coming. So that's coming. And then, the other couple things I want to say was that, we are working on the bathrooms, the Ready Bikes. I asked for a tally to give you an idea what's happening with the Ready Bikes. We put them in, let's say July 9th is when they went in. And we did 125 trips already. Now, how does that rack up? They have 124 stations in New York and this part of New York State, and we are ranked number 12. So that's not too bad. That means it's a good location. And I'm telling you, I fought with Old Man Rivers on this one, and I did apologize to him, but I thought it was a better fit along the river than it was up there. I really did. Besides, if they run, they hop on the bikes, they go for a ride down the path, they may want to go grab something to eat and go across the street. If they eat, they're not gonna ride the bike. But anyways, I've got to fight that with over there. But I'm in good shape with them. I talked my piece with them. We're comfortable. We found some happy ground moving forward. The other thing, the city movie night was canceled. I canceled it due to lightning the other day. It was a nasty night. We moved it to the camp out night up at Veterans Park, Saturday, September 14th. When we do the camp out night at one shelter, we're gonna do the movie night at the other shelter with our big screen. And the last thing is the council president and I are gonna take a photo tonight with the B. We're gonna start promoting the hometown heroes and the banners. We're gonna get those going. And I think that's really important. It's gonna be $240. We're gonna get the flyers out to everybody. We got the flyers printed. They're done. I'm adding something that Jenna wanted to put on there. I'll have it out to everybody next before the end of this week. But I think that's really important to do the hometown, because you drive downtown, you see nice looking pots. They look really clean. They look really professional, but we don't have that feel of a hometown feeling yet until we get those banners up. So I think it'll be a nice gesture to get those up. If you know anybody from your family or relative, it's $240 per banner, and we'll advertise that and get that promoted. But without that, thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Mayor. I too would like to thank Mr. Malley for his service to our country and our community. Speaks volumes for all you do, and certainly it's a well-deserved recognition. I'd be remiss if I didn't give a happy birthday shout out. Although he doesn't like to be in the spotlight, but I'd like to wish our city historian Skip Johnson a very happy birthday. Yesterday was his birthday. He's shooting daggers at me, but Skip has just been a wealth of information about our city, the history of our city, and just him leading our Warrior Walk Wednesdays and everything he does for the Historical Society. We certainly could not do any of this without you. So thank you. I know you invest a lot of time and energy into preserving our history, and we certainly appreciate that. With that, certainly a segue to our last and final Warriors Walk, which is happening on Wednesday at 6:30. Please join us at Niwana Park for learning more information about Niwana Park and that area. And I know it's one of Skip's favorites, so please come and join us. As the mayor mentioned, we have a school supplies drive on Saturday, from 9 to 11. We currently have over 50 students in the district that have, reached out and requested, support. So please join us, if you can, from 9 to 11 on Saturday. Several weeks ago, Mayor Tyler, Mayor White and I, we were invited to participate in a roundtable discussion with several, representatives from New York State. Alongside us was several volunteers from our task force. And if you haven't seen in the news, other municipalities, are facing some challenges as well regarding homelessness. So the state had asked us what we're doing right, so they can help assist and support other municipalities. We talked for over 3.5 hours. A lot of success stories, how our municipalities, came together. And certainly we couldn't do it without all of our volunteers, without the municipalities on board. And it's important that we have the state's ears. So it was a very, very valued conversation that we had. And I appreciate both the state representatives for joining us and bringing us all together so we can talk about this. With that said, I'd like to thank everybody for coming this evening, and I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Mylum. All those in favor? All right, have a great night, everybody.
You'll be interested.